Facebook and YouTube. Hello, hello. Lauren Grace here, coming at you live. I am the host of the Afterlight podcast, as you may know. And thank you so much for being with me here today. So, just wanted to jump on for a couple of minutes to talk about the importance of words. So, just a small topic like that. So, number one, I just want to thank you so much for listening to the podcast and to continue to support it. If you haven't already left us a review, please can you do that? That would just really help to spread the word about the Afterlight podcast. Lots of really amazing episodes still to come. In fact, launching tomorrow, which is Thursday, October 8th, I am going to be speaking with Kiandra Vadas, and she is from the Empath School, and we're talking about everything to do with the empaths. So if that connects to you, that's definitely an episode that you do not want to miss. So I wanted to jump on here to talk to you about the power of words, because I noticed that, when I've been speaking with people lately, especially when they're suffering with some kind of an injury or illness or something like that, they like to talk about it. And I find that actually can at times send the wrong messages to your body and can, in fact, maybe make things worse. So first of all, I have kind of two schools of thought about word usage. So number one, I do want to reference Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. And in that book, he basically talks about living by these four agreements to have the best quality life. And one of the agreements is to be impeccable with your word. So being impeccable with your word is essentially to understand that words are like power, and that when you say something, it can really change the whole direction of somebody's life, including your own. Okay. So one of the stories that, he talked about in the book was that there was a woman, and she was, she's a single mother, and she'd been working all day, and she comes home and her daughter is singing, and she says, "Stop singing, I hate your voice." Now, she didn't really hate her voice. She didn't really mean to say that, but that was just kind of something that she said in the heat of the moment. And then the daughter never sang again, right? So that was kind of maybe an extreme example that they used in the book, but it really does show the power of words. So one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you today about word usage is because I actually ran into a couple people lately. One had an ankle injury and one had a knee injury. And I spoke with both of them. So one guy says to me, he was hobbling. I said, "Oh, are you okay?" And he goes, "Oh, I've just got a bad ankle." And I said, "No, you don't. Your ankle is getting stronger every day, right?" Now, one thing I want to kind of highlight there is that I suggested that he think about his ankle being stronger every day, as opposed to him having a bad ankle and telling his ankle that it's bad, or as opposed to him saying that in the future, my ankle will get better. One thing I notice people often do is if they want something, they don't talk about it as though it's already here. They talk about it like it's coming in the future. Well, tomorrow never comes, right? So if you're constantly saying, "Oh yeah, my ankle will improve in the future," well, then your ankle's never going to improve. It might improve in the future, but the future never comes, so it's not going to happen. Okay. So if you're, wanting to manifest something in your life, if you're wanting to, basically if you have an injury and you're really wanting to get, that healed, don't talk about it as though it won't happen, and don't talk about it as though it's going to happen sometime in the future. So the same thing went with another person that I met. So they were hobbling, and I said, "Are you okay?" And they said that they had injured their knee. And I said, "Okay." So I said, "Have you ever heard of Louise Book's How to Heal Your Body?" And he said no. And I said, "Are you familiar with the concept of affirmations, right?" And he said, "Kind of." And I said, "Okay, well, basically an affirmation is when you tell your body, or you tell, the universe kind of what you want to attract." So when I was dealing with a bit of with a bit of a knee challenge, I went into Louise Hay's book, and I found the affirmation for knee problems. And I started doing that affirmation on a consistent basis. So let's just check it out. So basically, this book is really cool. It's got a whole list of ailments, and then it's got the corresponding affirmation, or it says kind of what's causing it. Like it could be anger or guilt or whatever. And then it says that the affirmation that you can use to help combat the problem. So, okay, so let's just look up knee issue. And knee problems. Okay, so knee problems. Here I'm getting real with you. Stubborn ego and pride, inability to bend, fear, inflexibility, won't give in. So that could be causing your knee problems. And then the issue, or like the affirmation that you would say with that, is forgiveness, understanding, compassion. I bend and flow with ease, and all is well. So when I was having my knee issue, it was kind of around the time I lost my job, and it was around the time I started running. And yeah, I felt like I was in flow, I guess, but maybe not. Maybe I was trying to control things a bit too much. Regardless, I started saying to myself, I bend and flow with ease and grace, and all is well in my world. So very similar to what Louise had, put in her book. I just wanted to add my own kind of, spiel on it. So that's why I added the grace and all is well in my world kind of line. So I guess what I'm trying to say to you is that I believe that you create your reality with the words and the intentions that you put out there into the world. And I believe that if you have an injury or an ailment of some kind, the more often you tell yourself that you have that issue, the more likely it is that that issue will grow and persevere. Whereas if you remind yourself that you're in control, and that, maybe there is a affirmation that you can practice, or maybe there's an underlying cause, and then the thing you're experiencing is just a symptom of that, then that can really help you to kind of work into, resolving that issue at a root level. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to say today, was just, pay attention to what you say to yourself and to others. So, if somebody says to you, how are you doing? And you are struggling with a knee injury, you could say, oh yeah, I'm doing well. I'm getting stronger every day, or something like that. Or I'm doing well, my spirits are high. Stuff like that. You don't need to tell people necessarily that, not that there's anything wrong with sharing how you really feel, but at the same time, you're kind of telling this story, and then that's sort of, making that issue bigger than maybe it needs to be. Sometimes that's something I need to work on. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm definitely not perfect at this. Sometimes if I have a challenge, I like to tell my partner, hey, just in case you forgot, don't forget I have that knee thing. That's why I'm hobbling, right? And it's up for me to stop, drop, realign, and go, wait a minute. A, he doesn't need to know that. It's not really adding value to his life. B, I don't need his sympathy, right? Because I can give myself that, that self-love and that love to nurture my body. And and I'm in control. So love to hear your thoughts on this. Love to know whether or not you have this book. Does it work for you? And I just recommend you check this book out. Check out any of Louise Hay's work. She's so good. And if you're dealing with any issues, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear that they're improving, I guess is what I'm actually trying to say. But let me know your thoughts on that. All right, so hope this finds you well. Thank you so much again for listening to The Afterlight. New episodes drop every Thursday where you get your podcast. And if for whatever reason you have a podcast player, it's not showing up on there, please send me a DM and I'll connect the RSS feed to that one. I think I've connected it to as many as I know. So maybe there's one that you're listening to that's new that I haven't done on yet. So, okay, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.